So after the great support from my last video, thank you again very much. I appreciate that. I then had an idea. Okay, well, let's take another deck, but not just to one local. Let's take it to 3. So I traveled 2 hours east and 2 hours west, all over my state. Went to 3 locals, and this is how it did. It went 11-0. Out of the 3 tournaments, I went 4-0, 4-0, and then 3-0. All undefeated, no ties. With the first tournament being round 1, Queensmith Snake Eyes, round 2, Runick, round 3, Fluffles, round 4, Fiendsmith Ubel. Then the second tournament, round 1, Fiendsmith Ubel, round 2, Dynastun, round 3, Lightsworn Pile, round 4, Fiendsmith Snake Eyes. Lastly, one of the other ones was a little bit lower on attendance, only about 10 people, so we did 3 rounds. Round 1, Heroes. Round 2, Phantom Knight. Round 3, Fiendsmith Ubel. Now, with that breakdown, let's get on into the profile. So, this is Ice Barrier Runick. Have, of course, the 3 Revealer. Standard. This is one of your best starters in the entire deck. If not the best starter, because it also plays around Nib. Combo plays under Nib. 2 Hexia. Honestly, a pretty good starter also. You normal summon this, you can send Mirror Mage. So it's also a pretty good one. It just doesn't play under Nib. This can get you mostly through the same combos. It just doesn't play through Nibiru, which hurts way worse if you can get hit by it. And you also don't end on a Toad. 2 Speaker, because I think it's actually pretty good to have 2. 3 is too much, but 2 I think is just the right amount. 2 Mirror Mage, just due to the fact that, again, it's one that you don't really want to technically draw, but it is still really good, especially to have multiple for the follow-up. So 2 is another good ratio, I think. I don't think you want to run 3. 2 Gorgeous, because I think it's the same way with Mirror Mage, in my opinion. Good card to open, but seeing multiple is just too it feels too bricky. It can't do anything on its own. You need another Ice Barrier to like get this going. But I like it because if you can draw it and Revealer, you can end on an insane board. Of course, the Floodgate, General Ryo, insane. Literally what makes this card win duels, to be genuinely honest. Makes this deck win duels is General Ryo. That was all the Ice Barrier monsters. Now we just have the one hand traps, or the 1 hand trap I play in this deck, and that is Ash Blossom. It's very generic, and I don't like letting branded fusion resolve. So that is why I play this. 3 Medallion. I don't have the alt arts. I completely forgot. But yeah, 3 Medallion. It's too good. Not once per turn. People forget that, and it's funny to see their face. 1 Freezing Chains. I could be convinced to put this at 2, but I just like this at 1. Again, 2 isn't too bad because the second effect of having 3 Ice Barriers being unaffected by extra deck monster effects is really good and came up a couple times when some people would try to make like Zeus plays. 2 Talents, because this format is full of hand traps. I think this is pretty standard. Either want to draw, or depending on your hand, you could look at their hand. Next, we have the Runick package. 2 Fountain. These numbers are going to be probably what everyone runs. 3 Tip, the Searcher. 3 MST, Destruction. Vanishing 4. Then we have 2 Slumber instead of 3. Just a personal choice. But again, I could be convinced to run it at 3. It is very good. 3 Imperms, Freezing Curses, sorry. And then 3 Flashing Fire, the pop. All pretty standard. Some people run more, I don't, and then we end the deck. 3 Imperm, because it's the best hand trap in the game. Because it doesn't get hit, can't get called by, can only get cross-outed. Can't really be like triple tactics or thrusted, because, you know, it's a trap, not a monster. So I like it a lot. All right, let's move on to the extra deck. Deep Sea Prima Donna, because of a funny tech in the side, and because you can add anything, but it's not always online, so I just keep, I have some extra space. Dragite, Gate, Spell Trap Negate, 1 Gary. There's a lot of one-ofs in in this extra. 1 Gary, Bahamut, of course with the Bahamut, the Toad, this Ravenous Croc, Herald of the Arclight, because this can play right depending on your hand. You can play under Droll, under Ghost Ogre, I believe it needs to go to, under Effect Veil. Those are actually pretty common in this meta right now. 1 Hugin, you probably want to run this at 2. I only have 1. Lancia, the card. Again, I could be convinced to run this at 2. The extra deck is so tight, even if you take out Deep Sea, you still are just looking at a very tight extra deck. Oral, because the draw 4 is good. Frisch, from Lancia's effect. Fenying, because this thing can get huge, and this has come up, and sometimes it's very difficult for some decks to out. Rogue decks have a very tough time. Sleipnir, because it firmed or ashed or veilered in an unfortunate spot, you can still summon a 9, use Hexia, since it's a tuner, link off or synchro off into your level 10 Lancia. Funnier package, Marincess, which is part of the combo, but Zelantis, crazy package. Again, this pretty tight extra deck that I could out is this, obvious, and you would replace it with a second Hugin and then something else for that spot. Next up is the side, which can be very tailored to your personal local experience. This is what I ran for mine. 3 D-Barrier, because, I mean, it's D-Barrier. This format, you just have to run it. Way too good not to. Also doesn't lose to, like, Lightning. This deck loses to Lightning Storm or evenly way less than the Paleo list that I had. Lightning Storm, and then Duster for back row hate. Monsters. Evenly, same thing. Big boards that don't really spew out negates in this format. Good. Droplet for any decks that do try to pull out light. And you can kind of still play pretty well with Droplet. You know, you can Droplet, then one of the ice barriers you're not going to need Hexia, and then Hexia gets you an ad anyway. So it's pretty good. And if the funny stuff, you want the 1 medium. Never know, the match might be good. General Ryo might not be good, say against like Labyrinth, but medium is pretty good. Again, this deck I think still struggles against back row decks. I think it can do better if you swap out the ice barrier. And then 2 spooky. Play 2 because the side can kind of be messed with. I could be got the Duster, put a 3rd one in. This deck also, because you play Runicks, cautious of. I play that. Also, Prima Donna. If you banish from Slumber or Tip, you can summon this, add or summon any water monster, add Spooky, still go into like Dragite plus probably some Runick shenanigans, pass, and then, you know, the moment they commit to a special summon, they know you have this, so they're gonna have to try to play around it. One thing that you could do, and one thing that actually happened to me, is they did we had a little bit left on time, but not really enough, and so they tried to imperm the Dragite. I chained Spooky, they chained Called By, and then I chained the Dragite, because I knew that if they're imperming the Dragite, I need to do Spooky before it can get punished. Called By was the only way I got punished. So they ended up not special summoning. I took half my life, but by the time it got back to me, it didn't matter because I had enough damage to win me the game. But yeah, that is the deck profile. Way less time than the Paleo list, but it was a lot of fun. Iceberry Runick has been fun. Water's been a lot of fun, and the Mermail stuff looks really good. So look out for either 6 Samurais or Mermails soon. But I want to try to keep where I only do like a deck profile if I win a local or if I go to multiple. I think that's what I'm going to try to do. OTS was fun and a bit more competitive, but locals can kind of be iffy. So I want to do multiple locals in a row, and then if I can win 3 in a row, I'll probably make a profile, unless you guys want to see something specifically. But yeah, and then I am going to start doing actual vlogs at the events, so you can see the progress of everything, and that should be a lot of fun, because I don't want to just be stuck to doing deck profiles or doing one type of deck profile like Paleos. But again, I appreciate the support. It was awesome to see, and I hope you guys enjoy. Beginning of this should be a bit more edited, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you guys have a great day and are looking forward to see more. Like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. You guys have a great day.